So we're going to practice identifying degree of a polynomial function and the leading coefficient. We're also going to talk about what type of function these are. So these are special. So there's like a little chart, and we're going to fill it in. Okay, so they give us a polynomial function here, and then we say what function type it is. Now when you think about this function here, it graphs to be a horizontal line at 2. And this is called a constant function. I think we've talked about constant functions before, but if not, there it is. The degree of n, well, there's no variable, right? You could put x to the 0 because x to the 0 equals 1, and 1 times 2 would be 2, so you wouldn't change anything. So the degree is 0 here. The leading coefficient is 2. So we've seen the constant function before. This next one is it looks like it's in y equals mx plus b, right? So this is a linear function. We've been working with linear functions. The degree of n, okay, so you look at the leading term there, the first degree, right? 1, the degree is 1. It's a first degree equation. And it graphs to be a line. It would look, like that, but it's steeper. And the leading coefficient then is going to be 5. We're getting that number from right here, the first term, the term with the highest degree, that coefficient. Okay, our next one, we know that's a quadratic because of the x squared. So it's quadratic. It's going to make some kind of parabola. That's what we're going to focus on in this section. The degree, so you look at the terms. They're not always in order, but if they're nice, they put them in order for you. If they don't put them in order, then you have to put them in order. But the highest degree is 2. So that's going to be the degree. Remember, the degree here is 1. Okay. And then the leading coefficient, so you look at that highest, that dominating term. What's the coefficient? 4. All right. The next one is a cubic function. Why? Because it's got the x cubed, right? So that's a 3 there. That's going to be the degree. That's the highest degree. Again, this degree is 1 on the degree of that term. The degree of the polynomial is 3. Okay. Don't let the 1/2 scare you. It's a real number. It can be a coefficient. It's not the leading coefficient, but it's a coefficient. The leading coefficient is going to come off that highest degree term. So in this case, 2. And then the last one, we don't always see names for it, but it is a quartic function because it's the highest degree is that 4. And so the degree of the polynomial is 4. Now, if you have x to the 4th, that's the leading term, what's the coefficient? Well, it's the 1 that you can't see. So sometimes students will call it the invisible 1 or something. We don't usually write it. You need to understand that that has a coefficient of 1. Okay, so that's just some practice. Oh, we didn't talk about the graphs. This one graphs to be, some kind of snake type thing, and the other one winds up being some kind of like shape like that. Usually, not always. Okay, so these are very general on the pictures, but when we graph them in other sections, you'll learn more about that.